In rural mountain communities in Bolivia, there remains only one man for the top job going into Sunday's elections. Evo Morales, already the country's longest-standing president and still its most popular politician, thanks to a consistently growing economy and programs like this one, giving low-income families the chance to build their own homes.
I'm very happy. I've worked so long on other people's houses, working for the wealthy people, and this time it'll be for me.
Banking on the support that comes from almost halving poverty, Morales began his bid for a fourth term in office 3 years ago. But that in itself became a turning point, the moment when his formerly overwhelming popularity began to fall. Morales had to change the constitution to be able to run again, so he put that to the people in a referendum. It was close, but they said no. Then he went ahead and did it anyway. Now he's dealing with the backlash. Millions have turned out for huge civil society meetings called cabildos. Former Ombudsman Rolando Villena was one of the organisers.
Under the government of Evo Morales, there's been an excessive concentration of power of all the organs of state and the judiciary under him. This means that democracy is completely restricted. The electoral body, for example, responds directly to the regime, so the democratic system suffered permanent damage.
It's not just what critics say is a slide away from democracy. Recently, Bolivia had forest fires that wiped out 5 million hectares. Environmentalists say the government's commitment to Pachamama, Mother Earth, is all talk.
The laws are fine. The problem is that I see they're not applied. The fires in Chiquitania were due to policies where they wanted to deforest to plant soybeans and produce meat to export to China at the expense of wildlife and the indigenous people.
There have also been accusations of governmental corruption and conflicts of interest.
And when the administration of President Morales built this 29-story, $34 million skyscraper that you can see, which towers above the former presidential palace, this pink building in front of it, many people saw that as a sign of the government's increasing opulence in what is one of the poorest countries in South America.
Despite the missteps, many Bolivians, like Inocencio, still see Morales as the safe way forward.
I think if the president stays in power, then these programs will continue. Before we didn't have them, and we don't know the proposals on the other candidates. We've lived with this president and we know that he gives help.
That may be enough to see him over the finish line. John Holman, Al Jazeera, La Paz.